Tell us what you do.
Hey guys. You know, I'm just loving sitting in here, sitting with my sisters, because y'all know when we get together, it's a photo shoot day. We be photo shooting, and you know, for me, taking a photo is not just about how cute you are in your outfit or you know how nice you look today. It's about the memory. Being able to go back and look at that thought and reflect on, wow, this is where I was. This is what I've been through. And come back a year from now and pick that same photo up and say, look at what God has brought me through. You know, I was here and now I'm here. And you can measure the growth in you. Sometimes you don't see your own growth because you don't measure yourself sometimes. You don't measure your own growth. But I'm just one of those people. So if y'all see me taking pictures and flicking and clicking and saying, let's memorize this, it's because I love to reflect in others and say, you know, where has God brought you? Because sometimes you don't realize the blessings that you have yourself because you don't see that God is in the little things. You know, sometimes he's hidden behind so much and you don't receive the blessing because you don't even know it's a blessing. But it is. Just like for all of us to be sitting here today. You know, it's a blessing because so many things are locked down, shut down, and people are down. But by the grace of God, we got up and we're all here. So I'm grateful to my sisters for opening up this podcast. Yes. And that's me in a nutshell, guys. I'm always one to go into the atmosphere and just break it out and inspire myself because, you know, God has given me grace. And this year, everything that I do this year, I've vowed to myself to do it through the grace of God. So as God gives me, I'm giving back. You know, it's like God only blesses you to be a blessing. So if my job is not to leave you, not with my name, but his name, then that's my job. So in every venue I go to, in every organization, in every audience, and every outlet I get, I definitely want to take the opportunity to leave you Christ and him glorified because that's my life. That's my signature. That's my life story is to, you know, to glorify Christ in every area of my life. And, you know, a lot of people say I'm an inspirational or motivational speaker. I accept that. But you have to add on inspired and motivated through the word of God. You know, that's the biggest ground that I stand on. Without that word of God, I have no direction, I have no directive, and I have no life and no word to speak about. So that's me in a nutshell. The organization that I'm CEO and founder of is Women's Journey to Life, which my two girls right here are part of Women's Journey to Life.
We just want everybody to know we are a part of Women's Journey to Life. I think it's been, 5 years for me? Maybe 5 or I think it's been 5 years for me as one part of the group. It's been a while. And I'm Sharon. I got Sharon involved in the group. And then after Sharon, I think it was Tiffany. And I got Natisha involved. And Natisha's she's a woman. So I tried to get all the ones that I knew, like I call sisterhood, you know, try to get them involved, and they all got involved. So I think it's a great group. I think it's very, very Shay is a very, very uplifting person. She's, I tell you, anything you go through, she's right there for you. If you want to talk, she knows the words to say. If you have good words to say, if you have bad words to say, she knows how to tune it down. That's Shay. Shay Monroe, okay? She is one of the, when you talk about the Lord, when she talks about the Lord, she means God first. And that's what it is with her. And I'm the same way. I love God first. I put him first in everything I do. But what I want to ask you, Miss Shay, how do you encourage the woman to not give up?
I think that's a great thought because first you got to reflect in yourself. You know, I think had I not gone through so much in my own life and found inspiration to keep going, I mean, I'm a product of domestic violence. I'm a product of abuse, depression, clinical depression. I took medication to go to sleep, medication to wake up, medication to move, and then medication to go back to sleep again. So I lived a life of 5 medications, and they rotated my life. And in that process, you just feel like I'm not even living. So why am I here? So in going through that and God taking me through it, he allowed me to see that my everything was in him. Like those medications made you depend on the pills. But if you didn't depend on the pills, where's your life?
Right.
If you didn't depend on something outside of you, what is inside of you that makes you feel like I want to do something? I think that life experience for me gave me the gift that God placed in me to say, this is what a lot of women are going through. So my story decided for me to help other women tell their story. And a lot of women get to a place where I want to do this. Like, we know a lot of women say, I want to go to school. They go to school and then midway through, everything gets, I don't want to go to school. Maybe that's not for me. I just don't want to do that. There are women who have children. Oh, I want to have a baby. I have a baby. You have a baby, and then midway through, you be like, yeah, I'm not mother material. This is hard work. I just don't want to do that. Or you have women who are saying, I want to start a business. Yes, I want to start a business. And then as soon as you get to the hard part, you're like, you know what? This is just not for me. I'm just going to bow out of this. So for me, it's that completion. It's not really just to inspire the woman to get started, because we can all start something. But how do we hold on, maintain, and get through? Because that's where the glory comes. When you complete something in yourself and you be like, look at that. I achieved something. I did something. A lot of our women don't get to that place where they can feel that achievement or that they've, succeeded in something. So it's like my journey has been to take women through their journey to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. So, and a lot of people say you're like a coach. No, I don't like to be called a coach because that's not what God gifted me. Right. I know other people who are coaches. As a matter of fact, there are people in my life who do coaching. But for me, it's more about seeing the woman to get to where it is she wants to be. And to me, that's like, I love standing behind the stage, like Adrian said, being behind the stage, setting it up for other people to step out, and that's the same way I feel with other women. I can stand behind the stage and say, hey, what is it that you need to be successful? What is it that you need to feel like you're being a great mom or a great student or a great entrepreneur? And then I can stand behind the stage and set it up and then put her out there on the stage, and say, do it. Like Dr. Rock, when you and I first met, you were this really quiet, person who was really great on the stage when you modeled. And then after you got off the stage from modeling, I was like, Rock, why are you sitting here quiet, girl? You got a story. You got to get out there, do it. And she was like, but I get a little nervous. Remember we were talking about that in the beginning? And to see you here now on this platform, like, nah, I'm not nervous. I got this. That's the kind of stories, that I love in women. And Sharon has always been one that's been a little firecracker.
Well, I was always the type of person that, what all my achievements, people didn't even know I was a doctor.
Yes.
They didn't even know that because the fact I never hardly talked about the things that God had gave me because I know that he blessed me with whatever he given me, he's blessed me with. I just wasn't that type of person. I know a lot of people, when they get to certain things, they do talk about it more. I just was never like that. I just felt like what God gave me is for me. What God gave you is for you. And he knows what he's done for me because I always believed in that. Don't boast or brag or anything. And it depends on how you do it. I guess it depends on how you do it. Because, so I never was that type. So there's a lot of things that's going on with me that I don't even talk about.
And for me, when I first met you and learning all of those things, the more we got to develop a relationship and getting to know each other, for me, it was like there was so much that God placed in you. And you were just begging for somebody to say, let it out, let it out.
Well, when the fashion thing, you can't help but let that out. Because I got a model in front of everybody, right? I got modeling. So you can help that. But it's so much. You know, I've been an entrepreneur in different business things ventures that I have done. A doctor of education. I went that far to get my doctorate degree for undered because I really believe in opening my own school. And that's what I worked on. Was trying to work on in LLC for my own school one day. So that's coming soon down the line because God has already placed it in my heart that He said, claim it. Just claim whatever you want, claim it because I will make it happen. So that, and then the podcast, I decided to, because I was on Philly Hot Radio for 2 years. Showtime, which was my host, not co-host, host. We were both on there together. And we both did a great job. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do my own. So I decided to name it Dr. Roxanne Contee Show. Podcast show. So I decided, because I can talk. My mother even said it. When you was a little girl, you never hardly talk. Oh my God, can't shut you up now. I said, you sure can't. I said, look, one thing about me, I'm a realist, and I do, I'm not nothing fake about me. I try to do everything right. I try to tell people if they doing something that's not right. I don't sugarcoat it. I just let everybody know how I feel. And that's the way it should be,
And that's what I meant about when you asked me why.
Right.
The why is the more you get to hear people's stories. You see so much more in them that God doesn't give you a testimony for you to bury it in the ground.
Right.
And sometimes we as women, we take on so many hats. You can be the jack of all trades, the master of none. But there are so many gifts in you.
Right.
And sometimes we sit on those gifts thinking, just like you were, I don't want to be boastful, but when it's to the glory of God, it's not boasting. It's Him glorified through you. Look at what God has done in you. And you can stand up and shout that from the top of this mountain, because that's something, your testimony may touch someone else in a way that they never wanted to get up until they heard your story. Now I want to get up and do some of those things that Dr. Rock or Sharon is talking about because I always wanted to do that but never had the encouragement. Now you see why your story is so important, and it's not for you to say, I don't want to share this, but that was my thing of telling women, yes, it's very important for someone to hear your story. It's very important for you to share your journey because somebody's stuck right now and can't get to where they want to be, but you got just the key to unlock them in their lives. And for them to say, you know what, Dr. Rock, because I heard what you said, you inspired me to go and do, and that's just it. Your story, that's the woman's journey. That's our story. It's a collective of women just saying, I'm just going to keep sharing my story. And your story don't end right now because you're not finished. So a year from now, you have a whole nother seed in the ground that you can say, you know what, let me tell you about last year what I went through and how I did this podcast and all the adversities I went through to get it. But now I own the radio station. That could be where God leads you in a year. But Women's Journey to Life came to be because God took me through tragic things in my life. And those tragedies, I turned them into triumphs and took those triumphs to tell other women their tragedy is not the end of their story. It's the beginning of their journey. They just have to be allowed to go through it. And sometimes as we go through, we think it's the end, but it's not the end. It's just a journey. And we just have to embrace the journey and see where it's leading us.
Right, that's so true. And it's interesting. I was kind of chuckling to myself when you were saying about me being a ball of firecracker. Because, believe it or not, this was not always the case. Like, I was what I call a shrinking violet. Because I had really, really, really low self-esteem, like really bad. And so I was bullied from the time I was in elementary school, even in college, even on jobs, like adult bullying, like really, really bad. And so it was just like, I knew things. I'm not saying like I'm a genius, but I knew things. I had a lot of information and things like that. But what I would do is I would shrink and I would act like I didn't know, or I had other people. I would let them take the shine because I was like, well, I don't want to, anybody think I'm such and such. And I was what you call a people pleaser. Like I wanted to please people. Like even I was a kid, I would buy people stuff or I would do stuff for people. Even though I didn't really want to do it, but I was like, well, don't do it. They ain't gonna be my friend. So I mean, it was like, it was like really, really bad to the point. Like one day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna do me. I'm weird. I'm different. I like a lot of different things, and like a lot of times people used to laugh at that and stuff like that. So I said, you know what? Next that. So I decided at 50, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna travel by myself. I went to Atlantic City on my 50th birthday. I went to go see Carrie Underwood by myself. God blessed me with a suite. I didn't know it was a suite. It was supposed to just be a little hotel room. It was a suite. Went to see Tony Bennett by myself. And one of the reasons why I did that was because I loved me some Frank Sinatra. I wanted to go see Frank Sinatra years ago. Oh, why didn't want to go see him? Nobody didn't want to go with me. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go. Other people talk me into not going. I said, I'll go and see him next time he come. Well, it wasn't no next time because, he did it his way. So, he was gone. So, yeah. So even now, I still a little struggle with me somewhat when I do things because it's like, I'm like fun. It sounds corny, but I pretty much like everybody. I get along with just about everybody. People always tease me, like even at work, they're like, how come this person talk to you? This the crazy person at work, or this the other person at work. Why all them people talk to you? Why? I said, because I don't judge them. I'm just like, y'all might say they this way. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Whatever. So, yeah, so that's why I was laughing about the fight, because I wasn't always like that. If I knew stuff, I would act like I didn't. I would I would dumb myself down. So, but no more.
And that's just, that to me is a part of the journey that we all have to go through. The one thing I wanted to say, the organization Women's Journey to Life has taken a new life. We revamped the organization within the last year. You guys know, you've been following. We used to do everything external, the kids' things, the men's things, the women's things. Well, now we're going internal first. And I started it last year when we did that whole session on forgiveness. We did a whole thing about being able to forgive ourselves first. For a lot of things that we may have done, chose mistakes, made mistakes in our lives, and we just carried it into our womanhood. And say, well, I can't do this because I never forgave myself for doing that. And, so we began to internalize. So now first, the organization is restorative to ourselves, equipping us to go out and do the work, and also to change the community around us by being image bearers and sharing our time and gifts to edify our neighborhoods and our community. The one thing that we did, we revamped our logo also. I love our logo now. Our logo's labeled Crown Glory. And she adorns the scripture on her crown, 139:14. Wow. And that scripture is, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. And that scripture, to me, edifies women when you know who you are. You have to know that you know that you know that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. The Master himself created you in that way. And that's why when you walk with your head up and you walk with your chest out and your shoulders squared and you can take on life for life's terms, is because you know that crown was placed on you.
Right.
And the reason the crown was placed on you is because of what's in you. And that's what we exemplify every time we do everything. And that's what I want Women's Journey to Life this year to exemplify and doing those things. So, girl, we got a whole lot of work to do.
Yes. Do you ever experience any resistance when when you're leading a woman?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Girl, please, if we could go down the list, we'd be here all day. It's like, you can't be great to everybody. Everybody is not going to accept the gift that God put in you. Either they want to do it better, they want to copy it and say you copied theirs.
Yes.
Or they want to just demean and belittle you to make themselves feel great. So I've for myself, how I handle that is all to the glory of God. If you want to take my idea and do it and go shine with it, just give God glory, because I don't really, it doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, I've been like that for I don't know how long, but it's like I can't look at somebody else and say, I want to try and walk in your shoes, because God didn't make your shoe to fit my foot. Nor, on the other hand, did he make my shoe to fit your foot, so you can't walk my steps either. But it's so many people that want to come up against what you do just to make you look like, oh, this is the worst, and oh my gosh, she doing this is horrible, and I've heard it all. And then they go right back to their closet and say, let me try and see how she did that, write it down, and then go imitate it and say, welcome to my show, that I did.
No information, criticism.
But for me, all they got to do is say, Shay, can I have your script? Hey, to the glory of God. As long as you honoring him, that's what it takes, a village to honor him. God didn't say he's going to do it for one person. He's no respecter of persons, and neither am I.
Well, people do that though. I looked on such and such and they copy what I'm doing. No, it's not about that. Evidently, everybody had their own ideas and what they want to do. It's not about the copying and all that. I don't like when people do that, because it's not, to me, it's not nice to say what another person's not doing. Because, because like I said, God, everybody, when God made us all, he made us different.
Yeah.
So you cannot say, oh, they copy off everything I've done. It's just like a lot of, if you want to go buy, let me give an example of, okay, I'm going to go buy me a radio station or whatever. Oh, they copy because I had one too. Well, how they copy? It's so many of them out here.
So many.
I mean, like, and so many people have podcasts and stuff. How can they even say, we just said, don't.
No, I'm not going to go there.
No, but that happens. I mean,
does. It really
does. I mean,
does.
it's always, oh, this one did that or this one did that, Let's get over yourself. Let's stop being so insecure with yourself, because that's what it's about. It's the insecurities within yourself. What you need to do is be thankful for what God gave you.
Yes.
And not worry about what other people got.
Yeah.
Because whatever people got is for them, and just what God gave for you.
And truthfully, it's all about how you answered your assignment from God.
Right.
If you said yes to your assignment from God, he only whispering your assignment in your ear.
Right.
So I'm going to do it to the glory of him, how he's given it to me.
That's right.
And if you want to do the same thing, I'm pretty sure God's whispering something altogether different in your ear.
Yes.
So you go right ahead and be great.
That's what I'm saying. Everything is not going to be
the exact same. Yeah.
And if you only God, one God. I only know one God. I don't know too many. So we're not God. So it's nothing that we do that it can't be. Other people can't do the same thing. It's just like I got a doctorate degree. So don't mean you can't get it.
Exactly.
You work hard for it, you can get it. You just do your diligence and just work hard to get it. Because a lot of people have a doctorate. A lot of people earn their doctorate, and it's not an easy thing to get. But you can get it.
Sure.
And I used to tell kids, they all, when I get to that, I'm not going that far. That's too much school. That's too much this. Oh no. No, it's not. I tell them all the time, it's not too much school. You can do it.
Yep.
Just put your mind to it and you can do it.
But they need those pillars along the way to say just what you're saying. You can do it. Why am I telling you can do it? Because I'm a witness. I can testify that it's capable of being done because I did it. You know, so it's like, but you need, some people need to visually see somebody that looked like them, that achieved it, that they can say, oh, okay, she did it for real. Now I want to do it, you know. But it again, it goes back to so many of our people don't see our people shining in the right areas, you know. So I'm so grateful to those creative minds that are shining and looking like us and depicting us in these beautiful images where not only us being image bearers, you know, but those children that are looking and saying, that's my Shiro, you know, he's my hero, and wanting to take on those kind of, you know, assignments for themselves. So it's a job. We all have a job to do.
It's a job.
And please, if somebody want to copy, you know, Shay's assignments, don't forget to take the notes. Yes. And feel free to do it, please.
And some of them, you know, some people, as far as you being, like I said, you are, when you say talk about God all the time, it's not that she just talk about him, she live it. I've seen Shay live it. When I say living, because, you know, you got a lot of people, oh, I'm a God-fearing person, I'm this and that. Then all of a sudden you go out there and you talking about somebody like a dog, or you doing this. To me, that's a hypocrite person. You're hypocritical because, or you're doing something, you're cursing all the time. I mean, really? But you tell me that you a Christian and you talk about God all the time. That's using his name in vain. Because God is good and he's a good person. None of us are perfect because we wasn't born to be perfect. And that's why he gave his son to die for our sins. So all I'm saying to, you know, I say all that to say is we all have to be mindful of what we say and do.
And
you know,
judge.
And be, and you can't judge others, right?
You might get to heaven and that one that was cussing all the time right beside you.
Right next to you.
Because I had my own relationship girl.
Yes, I mean, you know, it's just so much, you know, going on. It's just like, this is my second time with my podcast. Yes, I do have experience with Philly Hot Radio, you know, but this is, I consider mine now, what I'm doing. So, yes, we may have a little, you know, technical difficulties or things like that, but it's going to get better as time go on. You just don't say, oh, well, you know what, that messed up today. No, it will get better as time go on.
Isn't there a whisper song that goes like that? It just gets
better in time. Yes. We're going to be our own background music.
You know, things happen, you know. You don't just come out, when you come out your mother's stomach, are you walking? When you come out?
I did.
Do you walk? Soon as you come out the stomach? I don't think so.
That's what Shay said. Capturing those pictures lets you know where you came from.
Right.
And you remember when we couldn't get the live this and
that.
Now look. You
know,
such a beautiful journey.
Yes. So y'all know when we finish this, we're going to get our pictures to memorize this day.
Yes.
So we can say, I remember we had to do the lights and the camera.
I had both of my internet and this and that, but this died, y'all.
I saw it was down.
I'm like, what in the world? So now, look, I got it plugged. I couldn't believe it. Now, when you charge it all night, you're like, what?
Don't worry about it.
Good.
That's all right.
But that's okay. Because we all still got ours.
It's all right.
Yes. We still got our podcast.
Yes.
We also got the audio part, too.
Yes.
Got the audio good. So that's a good thing. So we don't have to worry about that. So things happen, but you know, we still got a little live in it. Remember, callers, call up. You know, you just heard two beautiful entrepreneurs, two of them.
That's right.
Listen to what they have to say. Oh my goodness, I can't believe one is a director and writer and producer of a play. Just call up and talk to her. Maybe you want a ticket today. Maybe you want one. I mean, like, just call her and talk to her and get your ticket because you don't want to miss the play.
Yes.
Now we have someone here that's part of me also, Woman's Journey of Life. I'm a part of Woman's Journey of Life. She has a lot of information. you want to join the group.
Yeah.
It's not too late to join the group. You know what, Shay Monroe, you can let them know where would you go if they would like to join the group.
How you can find out information about the group is, and the group activities, you can follow Women's Journey to Life. We have an Instagram page, we have a Facebook page, we have a private group, and you can also follow my page at Shay Monroe on Insta and Facebook. Our website is being produced as we speak, so you guys, along with me, will be looking up Women's Journey to Life website soon. And you can get all of our information. And what you'll find on our page is this. And this is our calendar at a glance, what we call our year of grace. And Women's Journey to Life is always doing something. So what we wanted to do this year with the ladies is make sure they got a glance so that they can volunteer and plug your time in. Sharon and Roxanne, I know y'all have this already.
Yes.
But you ain't get it? All right, girl, I'm gonna have to inbox you.
She also talk about the shirts that you sell.
Yes, and what we do with all of the events and stuff that we do, we have like a wrap up that we do with daycare centers, low income family daycare centers, that we provide them with resources. We get the children coats. We do like interactive things with some of the kids that are school age. We refresh their school supplies because everyone gives out the stuff at the beginning of school, but midway through when everybody done ran out of everything, parents are struggling and my child need new books and new backpacks. So we do the refresh education where we step in around spring and we refresh all of the kids' school supplies and stuff. And then at the end of the year, we do the coat accessories because, again, everybody's giving out coats and kids have 5-6 coats, but they don't have no gloves, no hats, no scarves.
They don't have the
the kids come to school with little footies on instead of winter socks. So we go alongside the coat drives and we do the coat accessories. And we drop them off in daycares. Like this year I did a couple of daycares with all of the stuff that we got, and we did a school district classroom. So I was really excited that we had enough stuff, to take it into those places. But how we fund those outside of the members giving gifts into Women's Journey to Life, we kind of self-fund by selling our t-shirts. And I actually have a t-shirt that I'm going to gift our host today.
I like that color.
Yeah. And we put our Crown Glory on our t-shirt, which we called our logo. Is Crown Glory.
Turn it around so we can see.
Isn't that nice? Yes.
See, Crown
Let the people
Glory.
see. Okay.
And her crown adorns the scripture Psalm 139:14, which is, fearfully and wonderfully made.
Beautiful.
So this is how we sell the t-shirts for $30, and we have them in all colors. We have this burgundy, not all colors, all sizes. We have burgundy and we have what is like a burnt orange. But the emblem is like a multicolor emblem, which shows up really, really nice on the t-shirts themselves. And I'm gifting our two hosts. I have to get your shirt size so I can order yours. But Roxy, I'm gifting you one just for having me on here today.
You gotta put the camera on me so they can see how beautiful this is.
Girl said pan the can.
You know what? I want to hear it. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what?
That's perfect.
Yes, that color too. Yes.
No, he did not. No, he did not. Can't wait to get out there. No, he did not. I was reading it.
Earl said pan the camera.
Pan the camera around.
No, he did not.
Brother
No.
What did I tell him?
Look, hubby is helping. Look,
Okay.
Roxanne, hubby is helping from the outside.
From the outside.
He helping from the outside.
Welcome.
Yes.
Hey, I got to charge you. I heard you.
He came back to help. I love him.
Yes, but we thank you so much.
Yeah.
We did make it
But
so
those
beautiful.
T-shirts are like how we get
They're
more
paying it around.
resources.
Y'all was
Yes.
doing good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no,
I'm
we
coaching y'all.
yes.
So far.
All right, we hear a little echo in the building, but let's finish, y'all.
Uh-huh.
That's my
mosquito.
What
therapy.
achievement are you proud of during the time that you worked with the ladies?
I think the biggest achievement, and this is really funny for me
Mm-hmm.
because it's not an achievement that other people could really identify.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the greatest achievement is planting the seed of faith.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
that is the greatest achievement for me because I can release that, let it go,
Yeah.
and then each person that grabs it,
Mm-hmm.
you see it grow in them. You know, and so they begin to achieve in their own way.
Right.
And for me, that's like the biggest because that is the biggest achievement in my children,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the students. I'm also a product of the school district I taught
Yes.
and retired. Whoop, whoop.
God bless you.
Early
Right.
retired from the school
Yes.
district.
Yes.
I taught for 25 years.
Wow.
And I did special needs education for 5 years
God
before
bless
that
you.
25.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and
Yes.
it was truly a blessing, but I knew that it was time for God to reposition me.
Right.
So now I'm working in, you know, another organizing as a citywide organizer, which is just doing what God
Wow.
gifted me to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, anyway. But, you know, just being able to plant those seeds is like the greatest achievement because it's not about me.
Right.
You know, when you plant those seeds of faith in someone else, it's not about you. It's about God getting the glory for growing that person and being able to see your child or that
Right.
person become a mature in whatever it is that they want to do.
Right.
Like I have a pastor in my family. I have a praise worshiper in my family. I have, you know, a missions. One of my children goes on missions, you know, trips, and she's a teacher, you know, an educator. I have a son who's, you know, in electronics and what do you call it, computer tech
Right.
stuff. And I have a daughter who's a mother of 3, you know, so it's like for God to show me that those seeds weren't in vain.
Right.
You know, that's like for me, my greatest achievement is to plant those seeds. And I pray that, you know, for the duration of my life, whatever God gives me, that I can continue planting seeds and turn around and see the fruition
Right.
of what comes out of those things that was planted.
Well, you know, I was telling Shay Monroe, I was telling her that we all need to get together again. All the ladies, how we always got together. The last thing we did have was we had a mother, well, not mother and daughter tea. We had a tea. And it was really nice. And that was I think that was the last thing that we had together.
We had the secret sister.
The secret sister thing,
Yeah,
right? We had the
the
secret
secret
sister. That was the
sister.
last, and that was
Yeah.
very nice.
And the
You
tea
know.
was before that. That was great.
Yeah.
What do you do with the
The
But
secret
see,
sister?
the secret sister. Oh, we
Christmas gift.
actually we had dinner. We all met for dinner, and the secret was, who do you have for your Pollyanna?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your secret
So we
sister.
found out when we got there who we
Right,
had for our
right.
Pollyanna. So that was really nice.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, a lot of times the ladies that's involved, they need to, you know, come forth more. That's just my feeling.
Yeah.
We still got the same people that, yes, they're involved, the same ones, but we need to have more people involved. And that's just, you know, where I feel, because this is a program that we're in that's very positive. It's not just positive for the ladies, it's positive for your whole family as a whole.
Yeah.
Because it helps your children, it helps other people's children. So I just really believe that everyone should just come together on this. And the people that's already involved and supposed to be members, I think we should all, you know, start our dues and start, because when we do these dues, it will help us have things.
Yeah.
Nothing's free in this world.
You know what?
Nothing. So it's like it will help us to do other things. Go bowling together.
Yeah.
You know, just be together as a whole. We have a mother that's older than all of us in there, and that's Shay Mama Rose's mom. And that's Jeanette Griffin.
Jeanette Houston.
Where I get Griffin from? Well, Jeanette Houston. Hello, Jeanette. Hi,
Yes,
Mom.
hi, Mom.
She's the mom of the group.
Hey,
She's the mother in the group.
Yeah.
So,
hi, Mom.
yeah. So she's in the group. So, you know, we definitely like, she's more, she gives us advice, good advice
Yes.
and all on
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And how old she just turned
91?
90?
No, mother
no,
just
she-
turned.
Mother.
Yeah, mother just turned 80.
80. She just had a birthday
Yeah,
party,
she
which
just
was
had
very,
her
very
80th
nice birthday
birthday.
party. Yeah, she just turned 80.
You know how you were
So-
saying people getting more involved? It's so true. Because there's a term I like to use, Facebook voyeurs or Facebook peeping toms.
Yes.
Because you can actually see when you post something, when
Right.
someone says, you can see it says, like 25 people viewed. Or nothing.
But
like
only
say
3 people posted.
Only 3 people.
Right, and like somebody say good morning, like
They all view, but they don't
you
post,
say
right?
good morning.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Just saying
say
good morning back.
Yeah.
people say like just say good morning back?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, this year, hopefully, Roxy, we'll have a lot of time to do a lot of things because we have, looking at our calendar in a our calendar in a glance, for Martin Luther King Day, we already posted out.
You took it all.
We already posted. Okay. We already posted for the women to go into the communities to get to know their neighbors. Because, a lot of us don't even know who we live next to.
yeah, this is
Don't even know who that person's name is. If an emergency happened in your community, you don't know nobody around you.
sure don't.
So one of the things that Women's Journey to Life did for Martin Luther King Day, or one of the things we're initiating, is actually going into our community, not just cleaning it, but actually getting to know our neighbors. And one of the things that everybody that comes to anything I do this thing called pose and click.
Right.
Where you pose, you take your phone out, you pose, you click it, and then you get their information. Because sometimes you can get information and have a name and don't know who the heck that person is once you walk away. But if you take a picture, it's always going to remind you of who that person is.
Yeah.
So I wanted our women to actually do that this year on Martin Luther King Day, because King wasn't just about, cleaning up. I don't know why everybody just say, "Oh, MLK cleanup day." I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
King did not just go into schools and say, "Let's repaint the building and clean the buildings."
Right.
He cleaned the communities.
Yeah.
He did it by doing what people needed in their communities. But how can we do that or be a part of that if we don't even know what the need is of our people in a community?
Right.
So that's one of the things Women's Journey to Life is initiating, that going into the community, getting to know our neighbors, and actually cleaning up with them, getting to know them, who they are, what their story is, what brought you in this community, whatever it is, so that you can identify a stronger community. So that when Sue down the blocks needs help, you're not looking at her like she's a stranger and locking yourself in, but you can identify something with her and say, let me go help my sister up the block, because now you built that community, so we're doing
I invite
that.
you guys to put a resource table up in the lobby of the Met. Would you be able to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Free
Yeah.
of charge, of course. Just bring
Yes.
a nice table.
Oh, that's a
set up
blessing.
pamphlets, your T-shirts,
Yes.
all of that.
Wow,
okay?
that's a beautiful
Yes,
blessing.
Yes, so
That's
I
a
would love for you to
blessing.
do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a blessing.
Good.
And just throughout the year, we're going to do, inspiring women. We do our women's initiation, inspiring women that have impacted communities. We do our King's Talk, where we just bring men together in the community, and we call it Keeping It Real. Remember the Keeping It
remember
Real
she had a,
conversations? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I do
Yes.
remember she had a modeling thing for the men.
Yes, that was
That
the
was
Kings,
good.
the
Yep,
Keeping
the
It
Kings,
Real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the
She had a
thing
model.
when a guy spoke.
Yes.
Spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yep.
and you picked the
Well, we
the
had a
models,
panel of men.
table of men, and
Yes,
then,
and then there was some men in the community that were doing
they
great
modeled
things,
and everything.
and
too.
they all, like, her husband was one of them.
Oh, I missed that one. I didn't make that one.
He had a
He had his crown on. We crowned the men. Yes, she said he had a crown on. Well, you know what?
Leave Brother Earl alone.
She suggested her husband be one of those kings
Right.
that was honored because of the kind of heart and person that he is.
Shout out to
So
Brother Earl.
shout out to
Shout
Brother
out to Brother
Earl.
Earl.
King Earl.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, who
love
is
it
here
today,
now?
okay?
Yes.
Can you say that?
You know,
I am not saying
yes,
that
I'm loving it too.
because it's so
It's a
no, you
good
know
time.
what?
It's
It's
a good
so
time.
real,
Yes, it
and we're
is.
having a good time.
Yes.
I have not to speak on anybody else. I ain't throwing nobody else
Right,
out there.
right.
Or nothing, but we're not striving for perfection.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
We're not.
That's
Yes.
the whole thing.
That's
That
right.
is.
We're not.
It is.
You're
And
not. We're
that's what
keeping it
people
real.
like.
That's what it's
And I'm
about.
telling
Yes.
you, when
Because it's
people
gonna
say
be.
this,
Look, we're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
Look, this is my second podcast.
they gonna be like, I love this.
I love
It's
it.
gonna
I
be-
love it.
This is my two. This
It's
second
only
one.
the second.
I did one
Yes.
before.
Here.
Your hair and
Oh, I meant this is just an episode.
Yes.
For this one. For
Yes.
this one. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We
Yes.
groundbreaking, y'all.
Yes.
We breaking
Yes.
down.
Dr. Roxanne
so, but
Contee,
it's going to get
Keeping
better.
It
It's
Real
going to
show.
get better.
Yes.
It
As
is.
time go on, it's
It
going to get
is.
better.
That's
It's
right.
called Dr. Roxanne Contee's
Yes.
Keeping it real.
radio. Podcast WXPN show.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep doing it because we're going to continue to have guests. We have guests next week. Not next week, I'm sorry. February 12th.
Okay.
We have another guest coming in.
We have Lamar
But,
Bailey.
but like I said, when you on a show, you're going, sometimes, it's keeping it real. It's called keeping it real because things happen. We got people that make mistakes. We got people that come in late and want to do stuff. So we just got to keep it real.
Yeah.
People get you on time. too.
I'm telling you, that's why I like it. I'm telling you, you should change it to the Dr. Roxanne Contee.
Keeping it
Keeping it real.
real.
No, how about that? Dr. Roxanne Contee, keeping it
Keep
real
it real
show.
show.
Because
All
Dr.
right.
Contee keeps it real.
Yeah.
I keep it real.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yes, she
Ain't
does.
nothing fake about this woman, okay? I
Yeah.
keep it real.
Or this show.
Or this show.
Or this show.
Or the
Look.
show. But I'm telling the truth about these two entrepreneur ladies. Y'all have to understand that they are great. We all entrepreneurs our own way. But this one, Miss Woman's Journey in Life, I've been a part of her since for 5 years, going on maybe 6 years
6
by
years.
now. 6 years.
I love
And then Adrian,
Yo,
she is more like family also. I think she's more like family. I told her she with my sister-in-law, she has been friends with my sister-in-law for years. Mayoshi
That's my
Contee.
sister.
Yep. That
Okay,
brother.
when you say in-law, y'all know who I'm married to. So Earl, sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mayoshi.
Yeah.
So she's more like family, Andrea.
Yes,
So we were
yes.
so happy to have her come in
That's right.
and talk about all her wonderful things that
Yes.
she's going to have. She's director. I love saying it. Producer,
Yes.
writer of a play.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
she's doing
This
her
is my
thing.
debut. This is my
Yes.
first.
And
finished
we are going to
project.
be in. We're going to make sure we
Yes.
have front row seats.
And we're going to
Yes.
be right there in the place.
Yes.
And,
yes.
and you know what? I can't wait to get some of these young men in there.
Mm.
Maybe Women's
Yes.
Journey to Life can sponsor a father and their son.
Yes.
To go see this play
Mm.
together and make that really nice for them.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be
really
wonderful.
be
So,
awesome.
Can you tell us what the price of the tickets
Yes.
will be?
Well,
do you
they
know?
reserve seating like floor is $65, and then they have a balcony which for people that want to reserve areas is that, and then there's $50 upper level, and then in the back of the floor is $60. So it ranges from 65 to 50.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
My name is 65 because I was just in, like I said, I was just in that the Met for the first time ever, and I gotta have that front.
The front,
Yeah.
right in
Yeah.
front.
the front of it.
Yeah. And we're so people that go to the website, as the emails come in, I'm reserving seats.
Yeah, seats
It's
for
not
them.
general admission.
Yes.
Yeah, you come early, you're getting good seats. So.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. She's more like family, and Shay Monroe is my family also because she's my sister. I gained to have a sister that so that's a blessing that all of us and Shay. And Sharon.
Yes, Sharon.
So,
yes.
Sharon and I have been friends for a long time. And you ever have that friend that you be like, okay, you never heard it from no one else. You could say things and you never hear it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's friendship. Same with Shay Monroe. You could tell her things, you'll never hear it again.
Yeah.
Same thing with me. They can tell me whatever, and they'll never. That's friendship.
Yeah,
That's friendship.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we all built our friendship together. Now, one thing I can say is it's getting close to the time. We can still, have some things to say, but it's getting close to the time. So what I want Shay Monroe to close us out by saying things that she want to say. Then we'll go to Adrian about whatever you want to talk about. because it was almost getting to that time.
Mm-hmm. I think, again, my platform or what it is that I stand on is always being able to plant a seed of faith. So anyone that knows me, I don't profess to make my name great. I don't profess to say, remember my name and who I am and what I've done, because all of those accolades belong to the person who strengthens me to do it. Right. So if I represent him well, then I'm doing my job. So for everyone that knows me or everyone that sees me, I just want you to know and to be inspired that the same faith and hope that lives in me, that allows me to do what I do, is the same faith and hope that can live in you. Right. You just have to decide to choose it. And my job is to introduce it so that you can see it, and then you make the choice to choose it.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so we get the next entry. Tell us.
We just want the play to come back by popular demand.
Yes.
Okay. And be able to tour it, move it to different cities. That's a goal, and I just want to I want to give back, and I want to make a change in my community. I really want this to mentor young people to make a change for their families, for the young men, especially the young men.
Yes.
That's what the Shoe Shine Box is for.
Yes.
So come out, bring a boy to the theater day, February 26th.
Yes.
Yes.
And thank you, Dr. Rock.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Yes,
I love the
thank you
energy in the
guys.
room.
Yes.
It was just beautiful.
Yes.
And I'm just so glad I was able to come.
I'm glad you
How
came.
you get tickets again?
Eventbrite under the Shoe Shine Box, or you can go to www.cater2entertainment.com.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, Sharon, would you have anything to close us out on?
I just want to say it's been real fun, real live, real lit. Okay? We was lit,
Yes,
without a match, without a drink, just natural lit.
Yes.
Yes.
Just want to thank everybody for coming.
Natural
Special
high.
shout out to my brother Earl.
Oh, the tech guy.
Oh, the tech
Tech
guy.
guy.
I guess he'll keep his job.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
a little shout out, brother Earl.
Brother Earl.
And just thank Roxanne for just inviting me to be a part of the podcast, because she could have done it on her own. We could have,
Yes. But see, I'm glad to have Sharon. Sharon had always been the guest host
to be had.
on Philly Out Radio. She's always been our guest host. Anytime Showtime was out, or I was out sometimes, she would be the guest on there. So when I decided to do the podcast, I said, this is going to be Dr. Roxanne Contee's show. So I would like you to be the host, the other host. You're not a co-host, you are a host. And that's the way I feel. We both are hosts.
Thank you. Thank you
So that's why I call it, definitely she's a host. So I'm glad that she's a part of it. Now, I want to say in closing, you keep up what you're doing, Shay Monroe. Very nice. Everything that you're doing, keep the women's group going. And I believe everybody's a part of women's journey to life. Get more involved. I do see it on Facebook. She's always talking to members, about things that's coming up. And everything she does is very nice. I mean, it's good. It's not something that's bad. So let's just get more involved with Shay, because I believe that we all as a team can have a lot going on. Yeah. And we could do a lot for families. Families is in need. How about the coats? We always gave coats to families, the kids and stuff who didn't have coats. Give them anything that they needed. So let's get involved. Let's try to get involved. And for Adrian, who is our director and our producer, we're just so glad that you came out. When you reached out to me and you told me that you was having a play going on, I was so excited for you. And I said, you know what? I would like you to come on the show.
Ain't that something?
And because I knew that her show was in February, so it was best for her to come in January to talk more about it, so people can see, what you're doing. But you, like I said, she's almost like might say your family also. She's a beautiful person inside and out, and so is Shay Monroe, beautiful person inside and out. And we just thank you both thank you so much for coming out.
I had a great time.
Yes, and you know, we keep it real, ladies. We are ladies. At the end of the day, we got to remember, we all ladies, and we keep it real. Things that go on in this life, you know, nobody's perfect. Things are going to happen in life. My son, y'all keep me in prayer, because it really hurts, you know, that I lost my child. He was my protector. My husband's my protector now, which he always been my protector also. But my son, you know, he was different. He was my son. I mean, you know, what can I say? He was born in 83, and I don't believe it. Nobody could have the right to take away somebody's child.
Yeah.
Who you gave birth to. You sat in that delivery room and gave birth to him. Who gives that person the right to take him? But see, God says that's my punishment. Leave it to me.
Vengeance is mine.
So that's why I left it to God to handle it. No vengeance, to handle what's going on. God, with his punishment is way better than
greater.
anybody else's.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you all. It's time for us to close. And I thank you again. And you know what? Even after anything that you want to, always welcome to come back on.
Yeah.
Anything that y'all would like to talk about, you're always welcome to come back on to Dr. Roxanne Contee Show. Thank you for tuning in. All of our Facebook family, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We appreciate Earl Contee.
For coming in and
yes,
doing the video.
We appreciate him coming in doing the video. So let's give him a clap.
Yes. Welcome to do it.
Next we're gonna let me have music next.
We're going to do without him.
Next we're gonna have music next.
Yes.
What we going to do without Earl Contee?
You wouldn't have made
Lord.
We wouldn't have.
Wouldn't have made it. We are family.
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to cut it out. So, all right. So that's it. Finish. All
All
right.
right, finish, y'all. Finish.
Now we got copyright issues singing.
You get it.
Kathy Sledge is supposed to be in the show as well.
Never.
Oh wow, that is awesome.
She's just had one little hiccup, and we
You just kept
just,
taking it
I
off.
said, if we
You
can
kept
get
doing
to
that.
February
Yes,
1st,
you
then
did.
she's
You know
committed.
what?
Yeah.
You did a good job, but I'm going to get on you.
I know, you made me think about it too. I was like,
Wow.
David wasn't even here to do it.
I know one of y'all would, because everybody don't talk at the same time.
Yep, this is true.
No, listen,
I
no.
didn't want-
I only
my
thought about
daughter
it when
get
this
told.
was down.
What happened?
Her
How did
battery
that go down?
died.
And I knew you. I was watching you from outside.
That's
You
why.
could have did the 10-hour one.
You know, I was watching you from outside.
I
You
know,
had
but-
that on.
I know that
It
wasn't.
It was
died.
clear.
The battery.
But
It was
but
clear.
the
Why
battery-
you have it plugged in?
I know, that just thought
You're
about
supposed to have it
that.
plugged in.
See, what would we
That's
do
why
without
you were
you?
supposed to be here.
No,
Simple
well,
plug.
you know
So why
what?
didn't you
In the
plug
middle,
it in?
He made the thing go off.
This is
No,
the best
'cause I
part of the
was
show.
clear.
The after show.
That's right. After
Oh, you put the
After
bloopers,
the
the bloopers
show.
part.
After dark.
No, it's not. No, they don't
Hey, Shay, you put the bloopers part,
The
right?
bloopers. Yes, the
You
bloopers.
should have plugged it in. They looked down and said, why you ain't plug it in?
I know I was trying to position you to stay that way.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, we got 50 minutes, y'all. Take some pictures in here. Let's take
Yes,
a
this
picture.
the
I'll take your
bloopers.
pictures.
Earl, take it.
Okay, give me.
Earl, you know what? You know what? Next time, look. I'm
Look.
sorry.
Yeah, I'll take the pictures. Let me take the pictures.
Bloopers. Look.
Let me take the pictures.
Just want